Doesn't love me at all, despite the fact that I have a man who is ready to battle the devil just that I am happy, but I don't love him back. Dear Vero, what should I do?
My name is Veronica Akom-Roxon, the host of the Most Talk About show on TV and social media. On my story, we get to read letters containing real-life issues and happenings of persons in various forms of relationships.
Marriage is an institution where you don't graduate.
Try to know yourself very well, your strengths and your weaknesses.
And in such instances, the men also have to know how to set the mood.
If you are my sister, I'll tell you to divorce this guy.
Because immediately they are hurt, what comes into their hearts, if nobody stands there, they can act immediately.
We get to find profound solution to every letter that is worth of my attention. My story is a program that touches the very core of our existence.
When there's a problem, you're on your own.
My name is Veronica Akom-Roxon. Make a date with me on my story.
Dear Vero, I am in love with someone who doesn't love me at all, despite the fact that I have a man who is ready to battle the devil just that I am happy, but I don't love him back. Dear Vero, what should I do?
My name is Veronica Akom-Roxon, the host of the Most Talk About show on TV and social media. On my story, we get to read letters containing real-life issues and happenings of persons in various forms of relationships.
Marriage is an institution where you don't graduate.
Try to know yourself very well, your strengths and your weaknesses.
And in such instances, the men also have to know how to set the mood.
If you are my sister, I'll tell you to divorce this guy.
Because immediately they are hurt, what comes into their hearts, if nobody stands there, they can act immediately.
We get to find profound solution to every letter that is worth of my attention. My story is a program that touches the very core of our existence.
When there's a problem, you're on your own.
My name is Veronica Akom-Roxon. Make a date with me on my story.
Dear Vero, I am in love with someone who doesn't love me at all, despite the fact that I have a man who is ready to battle the devil just that I am happy, but I don't love him back. Dear Vero, what should I do?
My name is Veronica Akom-Roxon, the host of the Most Talk About show on TV and social media. On my story, we get to read letters containing real-life issues and happenings of persons in various forms of relationships.
Marriage is an institution where you don't graduate.
Thursday, right here in the capital city of GH. In the 25th day of the second month of the year 2021, 56 days done out of 365 days in this year. We have 309 days more to end this year. We have a long way to go. A very good afternoon going now to you out there. How has your day been? Well, mine gets also anytime I'm seated here getting ready to serve you lovely people. So with your permission, I'd like to humbly invade your intellectual space and keep you company from now to the late hours of 4 in your homes, your offices, your cars, and wherever you're doing the streaming from. So of course I get to celebrate my people who are enjoying their birthday today, and of course the belated ones. But if you don't know where you're on EP Radio TV with me and Pyob, and the program you're on is the EP Book Club. Transmitting live from our studios here in Abilene Pay, just some few minutes away from the Morocco restaurant. Now I get to officially welcome you to the EP Book Club with me, your man Pyob, and I have here with me, should I call it a fire tang or a fine wordsmith? We'll get to find out later. After I get to enjoy these people today, let me say that because I'm sure they have some cakes at home that I will get to join them and enjoy. So a happy birthday going out to Jack Osei, Abuaji Victoria, London GH, all the way inside Takrade. Sarah Music. Charlie, big up to you, bro. You know him, right? I love that guy. My favorite of his is Pastor Eben. If you haven't heard that one, look for him on YouTube, on Facebook. Listen to Pastor Eben. Then, of course, Nana the Kings of the Ghana Armed Forces, Sylvia Marilyn. I don't know why she has this name. Sylvia Marilyn. It sounds nice though. Patrina Elom, Kwesi Enchi Dakwa, and belated ones going out to Gina Jemfi, Vida Harrison, Gina Bosom Pema Babyo, J Word, Kobe Indro, my lecturer back in Takrade, Moriemi sir, of course, also from Takrade Poly. Now TTU Takrade. I don't like that. I like the Takrade Poly more. Then of course Dixon Ballard. I wish you all nothing but the best of grace and favor. Charlie, more money, more of everything, and more of everything you guys pray for in your secret places. Streaming live on our Facebook page right now. You can subscribe. If you haven't, you should. And of course, on our Instagram page as well, EP Radio TV 2. And on Twitter, EP Radio TV. And of course, subscribe to our YouTube channel as well. And share the videos if you are not doing that. Call us and message us on 02073262236. And back here with me, seated, chilling with me today. I don't know why she calls the name. She calls herself Twitter Light. Or should I say Twitter Life? Twitter Light, sorry. Which one should I go for? Twitter Light. Okay, maybe she should do her name herself. Then maybe get the proper, pronunciation. Welcome to the EP Book Club. Me and Pyob. Introduce yourself to my people.
Okay, my name is Twitter Light, and I'm a spoken word artist and a writer as well.
Okay, so I only knew her to be, I call her a poetess. It's okay to do, but she's a spoken word artist. I first met her at the Impact Hub, and she got bars, man. Trust. I know, right? She has bars. There was one piece she did. I fell in love with it, and I'm hoping maybe we can probably do that. I'm sure you guys will love it as well. But she has a new piece out as well. Is it already out, or is you're about to drop it?
I've dropped it. I dropped it last week.
Okay, last week. So we get to talk about that. So now, of course, we get to talk. Do a lot of other, conversations that has to do with poetry, and of course, and writing and all that as well. So if you're just tuning in, you're on the EP Book Club. Me and Pyob, and I'm chilling with Twitter Light. And of course, in the middle of the show, we have the Wiki Moments with Pamela Ofoyu Boateng. You can follow me on personal social media handles at Opong_Papa on Twitter, Papa Boampong on Instagram, and Bra Papa Opong on Facebook. Or you can simply search for PYOB. So which one should we go for first? Should we talk about your new piece out there? Or maybe just because I missed what I heard at the Impact Hub, maybe you should drop us a piece just to warm us up, into you. Okay, so then I think we will do the first performance I did last year. No, why don't we do the second one? I think it was the second one that I fell in love with. It sounds like somebody who, it has to do with broken heart or something. I don't know. Yeah. It has to do with love.
Sure.
Okay, so if you remember that one, if you can do that one,
we did at
the Impact Hub,
yeah. Impact Hub, yeah. Okay. So it goes like, I gave you everything and it still wasn't enough. It was never enough. You made me feel like I was nothing. You made me believe that I was difficult to love, and like a fool, I kept trying. I kept trying till it got so much. You see, I've gotten to a point so deep where I've lost who I am. I knew it was toxic, I knew it was a lie. But in mind, how about those girls? You go out and cheat on me and come back and tell me that you're sorry. And as a fool that I am, I'd wait. I'd wait to the day you make another mistake. You see, a part of me wants to speak up or hesitate, and it's like you're controlling me and it's affecting my brains. But to y'all who thinks I'm stupid, I ain't stupid. I don't expect you to understand that living someone you love is so easy. You see, he's gotten so deep into my mind, and it's like each time without him, I feel paralyzed, and it's like he's my life, and I keep telling myself it's going to be all right. So if you think I'm just going to sit here and waste my time, you're right. But I choose to stay because love isn't so easy.
Wow. Wait, let me take my time. Let it sink. You know. What is the title of this one?
This one was just a freestyle that day, so I haven't really given it a
Really?
title. Yeah.
It was a
I'll-
freestyle.
Yeah, but I'll say The Lies of Love, maybe.
Really?
Yeah.
Like it was just a freestyle like that night.
I
walked-
actually did that with the music.
Yeah, yeah,
Email,
yeah.
that was
on the
what
strings,
inspired me to come on stage to do
Wow. Charlie, some people are not playing, you know. You know, I actually thought it was like, you know, a piece like, you know, you've already done, like, you know, because that was what I actually fell in love with. I was sitting next to Roger,
Yeah.
and big ups to Roger. I'm sure he's doing the watching. I'm here to get on the live stream to read some of your messages, though. I was sitting next to Roger, and you know, he came up and you did that piece, and I was like, "Pyob, are you listening to him?" I was like, "Yes." That's like dope. That's a masterpiece. Really, you don't really have, like, you still don't have the title for it, or you want to call it the one what you just said,
The Lies of Love.
Lights of Love.
Yeah.
Is this something personal, or you just, even though it's a freestyle, well, was it just inspired by
Yeah.
the tunes?
I actually dived inside and I realized that most ladies are in a relationship where even though they feel they are being, you know, hurt, they feel like the longer they stay, the bigger they can actually make the relationship work. And they don't realize the fact that they're just wasting their time. So I actually did that piece.
Wow.
Yeah, sometimes it's difficult in relationships, but leaving the relationship, looking at how far
You've come,
you've come,
becomes the whole
it
thing.
really hurts.
Is it just ladies? You know, like, I mean, like, you know, guys as well. You know, sometimes staying like in a
But
certain
mostly
relationship.
ladies.
Mostly. Okay,
Yeah.
well, let's just do the numbers, yeah. But I love it. Like, do you already have it recorded or something?
Yeah, I had Mimi record it, so she sent it to me, and I had to sit down, write, yet to go to the studio to
really do a
Make
proper
yeah.
recording. I would love to have that on my phone. I love it.
You will.
Any day, anytime, I would want to listen to it. I saw Pamela, you know, nodding her head and all that. I'm sure she probably fell in love with it as well. But now let's talk about what you have out of it before we get to, you know, talk about other things like this new one.
Yeah.
The new one you have. Tell me a little bit about it.
The new one I have is about my best friend.
Oh, okay.
He actually teases me all the time. I am someone who likes wearing men's stuff.
Oh.
And he says he likes it when I wear shirts like that, and he likes it when my hair is all messy. So it was actually things he was saying to me
Okay.
that inspired me to go write such
Wow.
piece.
But the title again?
My He Knows.
My He Knows. Okay, so just for those who haven't heard it, let's do that piece as well, and let's get more.
That
to it.
was, I just entered the studio
And you just dropped
and
it.
I just dropped
And you
it.
just dropped it.
Yeah.
Okay, I don't know. Maybe in the course of the show, maybe I'll see if Yusuf can, you know, get it playing for us or something. But how long have you been in the game?
Just 2 years.
And you're already like freestyling like that, really? And funny enough, like I realized, I think you're part of Halakasa, right?
Yeah, Halakasa. And I was the Halakasa, last year Halakasa poetry winner, like the competition.
Wait, Islam?
Yeah, the slam.
Okay. I'll come back to you. Let me just relax for a bit. Cause if you're a fan of poetry, and if you follow, you know, the Halakasa community, because it's not like a whole big, it's more than a family now. It's like a whole community now, and you know the kind of people who are on there, and for her to win, bro, sister trust means she's like that good. Because I know quite, you know, a few of the Halakasa guys. I mean, Say Black actually, I keep saying Say Black actually inspired me to get behind, you know, the console and the microphone to actually want to push, you know, poetry.
Yeah.
You know, yeah. When I was in my internship at Class FM, I keep saying this story because I think he literally like kind of gave me that push. I was in my internship at Class FM, it was World Poetry Day. They were having this at Powerhouse. That was where Class FM used to be, just a few buildings away from us.
Yeah.
So I was actually going to cover that event actually. Then I met Sarah Black.
Black.
I met Akambo and Philippa.
Philippa.
Yeah. So I spoke to Sarah Black. Then I realized, okay, poetry is like, it's here to stay, but it's not getting the needed attention, you know, it needs. It's not really getting the needed push, you know, it needs. But this is something that is worth, you know, celebrating. So I was like, let me do this. This is what I want to do. That's how come I started doing this.
Yeah.
So big ups to Sarah Black. It's been a while since I spoke to him. You know, I'm sure when he sees me, he's going to give me some few knocks and all that. But still, so like I know quite a few of, you know, that of course Joel King. You know, the names are not really coming, but of course all the big shots in there. Vitus, you know Vitus, right? Vitus and all them guys. You know, so for you to wait, that time, that year, the one you won, who did you have to compete with?
A lot of people. You know, we were all fighting to be winners. And since it was Corona, we weren't really paying attention to who we were competing with.
Yeah.
But I think I was with Scribbler.
Ah,
I was with one hot guy. I can't really remember his name. But the people there were like dragging me. Yeah.
how many rounds? Did I say rounds? Like how many
It was
times
2
did you
rounds.
go? Just run.
Yeah.
Oh, you did it via Zoom.
No, it was we had to record a video,
Okay.
and send it to Seb Black,
Okay.
and it went to Ghana Poetry Association. Yeah.
Wow. So which piece did you win that one with?
Okay, you want me to do that?
I'd
right now?
love to hear it because I'm wondering what, you know, kicked all the other guys out.
So before I start, I would like to say thank you to Seb Black for, you know, giving me this light. Seb Black actually made me believe in myself.
Wow.
And that I can always do.
But did he scout you from school? Because I know he did like a lot like that with a lot of like, you know, a lot of the poets.
Seb Black actually made me stand when it comes to poetry.
Wow.
I was just a writer, like just cold writing, and that was it. Yeah.
Okay, so let's hear that piece. After that, we get to, you know, we get into, you know, a bit of your life, you know, when it comes to writing. Of course, not your personal life, though, but, you know, as a writer.
Okay, so fear there is indeed. Panic and a feeling that it's over. And then there is a spread. There is a spread everywhere, causing loss of many innocent souls. You see, movement restricted, and it's like each day people keep passing out a new reflection. What could this be? Our beliefs and faith cease to be inexistent at this point, replaced with a regular stream of negatives in head and house. Like, how do we do this? How do we get over this? How can we stay? How? And fear has spotted us, hit us right in the corner, leaving us no option than to believe that it's finally over. You see, that fear is deadly, highly toxic, but you see, this thing called fear is a choice. You either choose to stay in fear or choose to walk out in faith and be strong for no one else but for you. Here we stand, in the midst of our emotions and tears, allowing this pandemic and news all over drown us in tears. But this tears is complicated. This tear is suffocating us. Lord, sinners as we are, broken we come before you, damaged, unworthy, but we seek for your mercy and grace. Fear is indeed here, but it ain't over until we believe, and then when we believe, mercy and grace is sure.
Wow. That's intense. Wait, how? Okay, wait. I know some people mostly get to pen down little pieces when they are like in very dark, you know, spaces, like, you know, in their life, very dark moments, you know, in their life and all that. Do you do the same? Because I'm asking this because, like, you know, most of your pieces, even the one that was supposed to be a freestyle, is pretty deep, you know, very emotional. And that's what I'm asking, like, you know.
Mostly, I do coach other people as well.
Oh.
So when I get into my email and people send me messages about how they feel, and I go deeper, I realize that what they are telling me about the relationship and what they are going through actually gives me something to write.
Wow.
And sometimes what I go through personally, I have nobody to talk to. So the best thing I can do is to just write my feelings in a book.
Okay.
And sometimes just music, any music, just a word or a line from a music can give me something to write.
Okay, that's how come, you know, when Emil was on there, like, he just, because I really just didn't think that was like a freestyle. Like, it never clicked in my mind that was a freestyle.
It was.
If I didn't have you here today, I would never have known. Like, you know, wow. I'm still waiting for, like, you know, a recording of that. I really want to listen to that piece over and over again. Now, as a writer, maybe you've been a spoken word artist for just 2 years, but as a writer, how long have you been doing this?
I started writing since I was 7.
Wow, that was early.
Yeah. By then, I wanted to be a story writer.
Okay.
So I watch cartoons and I picture the animations. I just draw something like that and I write something, like maybe this is a cat, I just try to write something about a cat, like maybe some 5 pages. So growing up, when I got to JHS, I started writing my own codes. And then when I got to SHS, I joined this actors club.
Okay.
And with how the director was, and he was a writer as well, it inspired me to start doing my own script writing. So then I started doing script writing. And
okay, so did you like ever have any scripts of yours performed, you know, in school?
No, I still have them on my laptop.
What happened? Like,
I just want to gather them and then I'll see what I can do.
Are you thinking about a movie?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. How soon?
Like the end of the year or early next year.
Oh, first time hearing it was on here. Just remember that. If you see the movie out, if you see any movie out, you know, that was written, probably directed as well by you.
Yeah.
Anyways, by Twitterlite, you first heard it on here. On EP Radio TV with me, Pyob, and I'm chilling with Twitterlite. I can literally do this, you know, with her like all day. The pieces are deep, and I just can't stop, you know, listening to them. We're going to get more talking, but just because of the space we are in, you know, with the COVID and everything happening, just putting you on the spot anyway. What do you think? Or how do you think the aftermath of, you know, COVID, or the effect of the aftermath of COVID is going to have on, you know, writers in general and poets, you know, because even with, you know, the musicians who used to enjoy a lot of, you know, stage, you know, appearance and, you know, shows all over the place, you know, are not getting that anymore. So taking into consideration, like, you know, poetry that we usually only get acknowledgement, you know, in church. You know, most poets only get to perform, most of the time get to perform in church.
Yeah.
But thanks to the likes of Sarah Black, Rhyme Sonny, and of course Lyrical International, and of course writers. He had a program at the Impact Hub as well, celebrating, I think is it five or something years, you know, as a poet. He had a lot of other, you know, poets passing through. You know, for these, you know, events, aside these events, you only get to see, you know, poetry in church.
In church.
You hardly get to see poetry, you know, happening on, you know, bigger stages. That's how come I'm sure that's how come a lot of poets were happy when they saw. I've forgotten the lady's name, the lady who performed at, you know, Joe Biden's, you know, inaugural ceremony.
Amanda.
Yeah, I think Amanda something. Yeah.
Amanda Gorman.
Yeah. I think that's why, like, you know, most of the poets, you know, around the world, like, were, like, you know, so excited about it, like, you know, seeing some. Maybe even if she wasn't a poet, the fact that she was doing poetry on that, you know, big you know, stage, it was remarkable, you know. So I'm just thinking, like, how do you think it's going to be? Because I mean, poets are for chop, you know, and most often poets are only allowed to perform in church, or they get called up in church and all that, they perform, and sometimes but outside church.
Before Corona, or let me say, Corona has given us both negative and positive when it comes to how a ban was placed on going on stage. You see, when we used to go on stage, I haven't started. I started not long ago, but when we used to go on stage, we used to come together, meet people, hire people we've never met. Like, there was time where even One Love Kubolo would come. We meet people, hire people. And now here comes a time where we have to stay on Zoom, and not anybody is gonna have time to stay on Zoom.
To stay on Zoom.
So that's the negative side. And when it comes to the positive side, quarantine gave us much time to sit and write. When you're alone and you're trying to think about yourself, that's when the ideas crawl inside to give you most things to write. So I think Corona has given us both negative and positive side.
Okay.
And now, talking about performing in church, we have no other place to go perform. So the only place we can do is
in church.
To do in church, because it's what we love, and you
That's
can't just
why
do
you
it in
get
your
to-
room, record. You just have to let almost everybody know what you're doing.
Okay, I think the NASA literally said the same thing you just said. With Corona giving most writers that sort of safe haven, to get more creative, because now you don't go anywhere. Of course, when the quarantine was in full swing, we don't go anywhere. So you're like in a room, you have a lot of things, coming up in your head and all that. So maybe, of course, maybe that gets to be like a positive. But I'm literally thinking about the business, bits of it, because Hakasa has this talk party thing still running on Zoom. Cool. So for people who enjoy poetry, you hop on there, you get to enjoy, most of the pieces and all that. But even before COVID came to haunt us, it was hard for poets to mount certain big stages, like say somewhere like the VGMAs. Then you have a poet's build to perform and actually getting paid, So now that we have COVID happening, and of course a lot of events are not really happening. As a poet, after everything, because when you go to the studio, you get to pay for your studio session, unless of course you have somebody who wants to
do it for you
for free. But even though you'd have to pay, so okay, after everything, what next? If I'm not doing shows, if shows are not happening for me to get called up to come and perform, or maybe me having to write something for somebody. I don't know if you do that. Maybe if somebody's having a wedding and you want a romantic,
I do that.
Something. If you're not getting any of that, how are you going to get paid? So I don't know if you're doing it full time. I don't know if you're doing poetry full time.
Yeah, I'm doing it full time.
So for somebody who is doing poetry full time, how are you going to get paid? If having a lot of shows running and all that.
You have a point. Poets in Ghana, or let me speak for my country.
Okay.
Poets in Ghana are not celebrated at all. I think
I can attest to that.
if the musicians come together with the poets to collaborate, it will do much good. There was this song I listened to one time. I don't really remember the title, but then it was a musician. There were a lot of musicians, like 3, and they had come together with one poet, and it was very nice.
Yeah.
So if musicians or artists will come together with poets like us, I think it will rather bring much light,
attention, and
yes,
all that.
If let's say like how they do for Hitmaker, they will do the same thing for, let's say, poets. That one will also help.
Yeah.
And let me say, if one station or one person decides to host, trust me, almost everybody in Ghana will try to do the same.
Yeah.
So it's something is bringing all these.
Ghanaians are naturally we follow trends.
Follow one trend.
You know, so something pops up with one station and everybody's going like, you know, and I think that would be like a good thing, you know, to get that much of attention, you know, being pulled onto you know, poetry, because I'm all up for that, because I'm hoping for a time to come where there's going to be like a whole awards nights, you know, for poets. As huge or as big as the VGMAs, you know.
Yeah.
And I think even with that, it will get a lot of poets to putting a lot of effort, a lot of work, you know, into their creativity, into their writing, and even how to people would now be going to the studios to do a lot of recordings and all that. Because I know most of the poets, some of them have most of their works on digital platforms like Spotify and all those things. Yeah.
And even some poets write lyrics for some musicians. So if a poet should write for you, don't you think it would be so good or like better to work with?
It will be, and we will stop having to listen to, excuse me to say, a lot of trash.
Yeah.
Because like then there will be real content.
There are a lot of poets in Ghana, but our names are not there.
Yeah. I think that's why people enjoy people like Manifest.
Yeah.
Manifest is probably not a typical poet.
He's a poet.
Well, he sometimes he goes like he doesn't want to
be tagged
as a poet. But I mean, when you listen to his music, like, you know, it comes with a lot of content. Like it's quite deep. Somebody like Kiara, I don't know if you've heard about Kiara.
Yeah.
Kiara is on point, even though he's like not out there. Just those people like who are like, you know, who are into real music, who enjoy good music, will probably know the likes of Kiara. But if you listen to Kiara is not a typical poet as well. But if you listen to his music, if you listen to his lyrics, you can tell, you know, where he's coming from. You can tell how deep he is. You know, so yeah, I subscribe to that. If some of our musicians or artists will start employing the services of, you know, poets to pen down, you know, contents for them, I'm sure we'll be listening to, you know, proper proper music.
That was coming from you.
Yeah, that's coming from me. Yeah, that's coming. Of course, not from you. Don't worry.
Yeah.
You're safe. You're trying to play safe. Yeah, I know. If you're just tuning in, you just tune in to the EP Book Club. Me and Pyob, and I'm chilling with Twitter Light. I don't know if I should say Twitter Light. Twitter. I'm chilling with her. It's been awesome. But time check. I need to run right now and hop on with the Wiki Diva. She likes to be called the Wiki Diva. Pamela Foriboating. Let's hop on and get what we have in the Wiki world for today. But I don't know. She sent me something that I think there's a new movie or there's in a book as well. So we're going to find out what there is for us. But if you're not watching us already and you're just listening to us, we are live on our Facebook page right now, EP Radio TV, and we are on Instagram as well, EP Radio TV 2, on Twitter, EP Radio TV. Subscribe to our YouTube channel as well, EP Radio TV. Even though we are global, www.epradiotv.com, the new face of radio. So yes, I'm still waiting to get on with Pamela Foriboating for the Wiki Moments. But as I'm waiting, if you're watching, let me know you're watching. Just drop a comment, drop a hi. Just let me know. If Twitter is a girl, let her know you're watching here right now. You can subscribe to my personal social media handles, like I said earlier on, at _Papa on Twitter, or I should say Twitter, because, you know, Twitter Light is sitting here, Twitter Light is sitting here. Papa Bampong on Instagram, then Papa Opong on Facebook, or you can simply search for PYOB. Okay, so I think Pamela is ready. So I'm going to run off and join Pamela with for the wiki moment. Sorry, the wiki diva. Is she ready already? Hello.
Hello, PY. Thank you so much, for today.
How are you doing?
I'm doing fine.
What do you have for us today? I'm good.
Yeah, today I have one interesting movie and a book for you.
Okay.
So we are starting off with the movie for today.
Okay.
It's titled, Will You Marry My Husband?
What?
Will you marry my husband? I mean, it sounds
it
sounds weird.
Yeah,
but the movie is actually very, very, very
okay,
interesting.
let's
to
hear
watch.
what it's about.
So, Will You Marry My Husband is a new Nollywood movie written and produced by Udak Isong and directed by Opeyemi Dada. It opens in on a man who is trying to be a great husband and a good boyfriend at the same time. So, the man has a wife and a mistress, and he's trying to play his role well. But then time caught up with him eventually, and the wife found out in an unusual way his affair. So after the initial confrontation with the husband, it turned out to be one interesting turn when the wife asked him to bring the mistress home and marry him for one particular reason that is in the movie. So if you're looking for some interesting movie,
that is very
twist
that's very weird,
Yes.
Wow.
You should check out Will You Marry My Husband?
Will You Marry My Husband?
But while watching it, also keep an eye on the main character, Daniel Etim Efyong. He's part of the new crop of Nollywood actors, and you will enjoy him. Yes.
Okay.
So moving on from our movie for today to our book for the day. Do you know that some people are already on their 6th book for the year 2021? Would you believe me if I tell you that some other people too are on their 5th book?
Are you part of the sum? Are you part of this?
No, I'm still struggling to read one Barack Obama movie.
Really?
Book.
I'm not even going to ask someone like Ray,
because I'm still struggling. So I wonder how they're able to read like 9 books, and we are only in February.
Yeah.
For the year 2021.
Wow.
But if you haven't even started, there's still hope.
For the future.
There's still hope. I'm here to give you one book that maybe you can start your reading adventure with for the year 2021. The book is titled The Man Died by Willie Soyinka. The book was written by Nobel Prize winning African writer Willie Soyinka, as I said, while he was in prison. He was in prison without trial by the federal authorities at the start of the Nigerian Civil War. He recalls his arrest and interrogation, the efforts made to incriminate him, and the mental effects of solitary confinement. Soyinka's prison memoir, The Man Died, is both a testament of endurance under duress and a powerful piece of literature. Now, if you want a bit of a background to the book, in 1967, Soyinka was arrested for a period of 22 months and held in solitary confinement. So the book is a sort of an essay, poetry, a diary of a political prisoner aiming for liberty and freedom. So if you are more into history book, if you want to learn about the Nigerian Civil War, then you should, check out The Man Died by Willie Soyinka. This is all I have for you by way of Wiki Moment. Today, the name is Pamela Ofori-Boateng. Over to you, Pyob.
Thank you, Pamela, the Wiki Diva, Pamela Ofori-Boateng. But wait, how come you're not like on your 2nd or 5th or something book?
Charlie, I think I'm not really planning my reading outline well.
Well, okay.
Yeah, and I keep on procrastinating, but I think I'll.
But your
out of like page 500 pages.
The one that I started reading somewhere in December, I don't even remember what I put it. So I think I'm going to get back to it. I don't know why Ray's pointing at me like I don't know what he's saying. I'm not listening to him anyways. But thank you. That was the Wiki Moment with the Wiki Diva Pamela Ofori-Boateng. If you're just tuning in, you're on the EP Book Club, me and man Pyob, and I'm chilling with Twitter Light. Okay, so let me do a message under the live stream right now. So I see Geoffrey that also watching Geoffrey of Ghana Commercial Bank. Sorry. Then of course Shelby Wright, blessings, good people, with the prayer emoji, hands up emoji, and star emoji. Then Alpha. Okay, I can't do I can't do the middle name, but I know it's Alpha Lua. Nice program. Thank you for doing watching. If you're on, just let us know you're watching. Drop a message. Let me do what to read that for you. But I'm back with Twitter Lite. Twitter Lite. Okay, which one? But of course, she's deep. If you're just joining us, then you've missed a lot. But of course, you can watch on our YouTube channel as well. EP Radio TV is find us on there, and you can watch all that you missed still. But I am enjoying her right here with her. So I don't know if she has to drop me a very last piece before we get to wrap up and all that. But if you were to be a president, right?
Yeah.
If you were to be a president for just an hour, what would you do for the poetry fraternity?
I will make sure that every month we host a poetry competition, and it has to be compulsory for all musicians to come together with the poets to actually work together.
Compulsory, huh?
Every month. Compulsory.
I like that. Like compulsory.
Like mandatory.
I think it will be proper.
Yeah.
It will be proper, because I feel if musicians and poets are working together already, things have been better.
Yeah.
Not necessarily to say that poetry is more important than music or anything, but trust, listening to poetry, listening to music, the only difference is one has a beat behind the words.
Even poets do beats.
Of course. When you most of the spoken word artists now, they do that.
Yeah.
And it sounds so cool to the ears. It's quite interesting. It makes you, it kind of draws you more into the piece the person is doing. I'm sure maybe that's why I fell in love with that particular piece you did that day, because I was sitting in front there. I was listening to the, I think it was an organ, or was it the strings?
It was a string.
It was a string, the acoustic strings, yeah. So I was listening to this. I love the tunes of the acoustic strings, So I was listening to it, and now here you are, dropping this, intense piece that happened to be a freestyle. I'm still wondering how that is, a freestyle. It's still busting my mind, because that's more that's like a piece that that should be coming from a space where you've actually sat down to write. But so it's quite difficult to to comprehend and understand how you were able to just stand there. No, I think you came from the crowd. Yeah, you came from,
the crowd.
Sitting there listening to the Emil, and you just come up that you want to do a piece with him.
I told Mimi to tell Emil that I wanted to do something.
I think he had dropped a particular tune, and you wanted him to do that particular tune.
And I wanted him to do that particular track, because he was talking about having feelings for a lady, and the lady was So it gave me something. So it's still it's really busting my mind down. Let me do this real quick again. Okay, so coming from Alpha. Okay, still. Okay, let me try and do the middle name. Is it Tujani or something? Tujani? Well, sorry if I'm not getting it right there, but Alpha Tujani Lua. I love the program. Mashallah. Okay, you're gonna get me speaking a little Arabic today. My greetings to brother Yusuf. I'm not telling him. I don't. Why would you even greet Yusuf? Okay, but anyways, Yusuf, somebody greets you. Because Ray doesn't have people, nobody's greeting him anyways. But of course, thanks for doing the watching wherever you're watching from. So, where we were, I don't know. Something is telling me to listen to that piece again. I don't know why. I'm so in love with that particular piece. I'll still let you drop it before we get to wrap up. But drop me something I haven't heard before. Okay. This I would say is okay. The title of this one is I Need You.
I need you.
Yeah.
Wow.
Okay, so it goes like, some say I got talent, some say I move with a vision, I just got the accent. And I can't really tell if this is some sort of a sickness or maybe just an addiction. You see, I look too innocent, but sometimes I feel like I really need this medication hitting out of my brains. I need a rehab or some lonely vacation. I've tried, and I'm trying. I try so hard, but it feels like this ain't going nowhere. So tell me, how is this fair? How do I do this? How do I get past this stress? Emotion switch has turned red. I'm a broken thread. I'm tired. I'm tired of being this me. Nobody sees me. Damn, I want to leave. I'm tired of trying to try and it doesn't even beep. They want me to be what they want me to be, but hell no, it's not about what they want, it's about me. You see, my prayers feels like I'm just talking to the walls. And my life feels like it's a joke, but it's never funny. Come on now, I know you can hear me. Go on ahead, Lord, set me free. Cause I want to be the me you want me to be. Father, I can't let you set me free.
Sorry. Wow. Telling you, I don't know. I think I need to like have a whole. I don't know if I can call it a playlist, or if just poetry pieces coming from you. Okay, I also have messages dropping. Okay, Alpha, Tijani Lua, still wow. Okay, so definitely a wow to you. Then another one from okay, Shelby Brides. Okay, I don't know if I already read this one. Blessings, good people. I think I already read that one. Okay, I think I already that. Okay, the girl got talent. Very nice. She does. She does. And she's like, you're coaching other people. You coach other people. That's intense. Are you getting them as deep as you?
Oh, they're getting there.
They're getting there. Yeah. Okay, so maybe your last words. I already asked most of the questions that I usually ask every person that I get on my show. If you're given an hour as a president, what are you going to help the poetry fraternity? And you already, of course, killed that one. I like the mandatory part, so we get to move together. Of course, music and poetry gets to move together. We get to, climb up there. But something to your fans out there, those who are doing the watching right now, those who are on our live stream right now, anything you want them to know about you that I don't already know, that we all don't know, we get to want to find out.
I would like to say thank you to all people watching me today. And, I would also like to say to my fellow poets that this industry we are in is like a game. Sometimes we have things that makes us feel like we should just drop back and not do this. And that's when we should actually know that when such feelings hit us, we should sit down and write with it. And also, I will always say that I would rather like to be saved with criticism than to be ruined by praise. Wow. So I would like to say shout out to all my critics, and they should keep criticizing me, because that criticism makes me, get more feedbacks to do more.
I said that was going to be your last, but I want to ask you this real quick. What do you think some poets are not doing right, to get the sort of recognition they need, even amongst the poetry fraternity, like even the poetry fraternity, let me put it that way. What do you think they're not doing right in your perspective?
We as poets are not supportive. We always think about ourselves, like self-centeredness. I think if a poet should, post, if I asked where I have a new release, share. I think we should share, but sometimes people think if I share it with SPs and like it has more likes and
more than mine.
So we should get off with self-centeredness and come together as one people and
unity.
Unity.
Okay. So there you have it, coming from Twitter Light. So let's be united, as a people, of course, in the poetry fraternity, myself included. Even though I don't know how to perform, so I love to enjoy. I love to listen. So I'm still a part of the family anyway. So, but of course, before I get to run, this is what I'm leaving you with: English word pairs that confuse absolutely everyone. It confuses me sometimes too. So I have these two. I get to do more when I'm here next week. So I have lose and lose. Lose and lose. Quite confusing. It sounds almost the same. We sometimes pronounce it. We sometimes interchangeably use them, and sometimes even pronounce them literally almost the same. But lose spelled L-O-S-E. But of course, when you're pronouncing it, the S sounds more of like a Z. So lose, and there's a lose. That one is spelled L-O-O-S-E. So let me form sentences with this one. So at least you get a view of it. So I don't want my football team to lose the game. You don't say I don't want my football team to lose the game. You say I don't want my football team to lose the game. Another example is she will lose her money if she gambles with it. She will lose her money if she gambles with it. Now to the second one, lose. That the S still stays S, so L-O-O-S-E. The door handle fell off because it was loose. The door handle fell off because it was loose. The second example is a loose sweater feels very comfortable. A loose sweater feels very comfortable. And on to the second example, resign and resign. Resign and resign. So the first resign is spelled, sorry, it's the only resign, so not the first one. The first word, resign, is spelled R-E-S-I-N-S-G-N, sorry, R-E-S-I-G-N, but the S sounds more of a Z, just like the first one. So it's not resign, it's resign. If you say resign, it means a different word. So resign. So R-E-S-I-G-N is without a hyphen. The second one is with a hyphen, R-E-S-I-G-N. I'm going to put it in sentences when I come back next week because my time is fast spent. Or you can form sentences with it. Send it to me in my inbox. I get to call out your name. You might just win something next week Thursday when I'm back on. So of course, let me do my very last message under the stream, coming from Henry Eduamoya, a very talented young lady. Okay, so coming from one of our producers, Mr. Henry Eduamoya, very talented young. I know, that's why I got her here. So if you didn't know where you're on, or if you don't know where you're on right now, if you just tune in, you're being or you're on the people call me Pyob, and I have been chilling with Twilight. We've had fun. I've enjoyed her. I wish I could keep going, but of course we have to run. The show was produced by myself and Now Patterson, and of course Pamela Foy-Boateng, the Wiki Diva. Big ups to man like Ray Arnold. I don't know why he has that name. I'm still trying to find his native Nigerian name so I can call him by that. And of course, big ups to the big man himself, Yusuf, Bilal, and Emiko Prince. Stay safe. Of course, COVID is still around. The vaccine is in, but Charlie, if you haven't gotten your shot yet, still keep safe. Adhere to all the protocols. Do the things you should do to stay safe. I don't want you to, get me COVID. So stay safe. I'll stay safe as well, so I don't trouble you. Let's meet here again next week Thursday. Still on the station, EP Radio TV. Still with me, your man Pyob. Thanks to Twitter Live for coming through. See you all next week.
Dear Vero, I am in love with someone who doesn't love me at all. Despite the fact that I have a man who is ready to battle the devil just that I am happy, but I don't love him back. Dear Vero, what should I do?
My name is Veronica Akom-Roxon, the host of the most talked about show on TV and social media. On my story, we get to read letters containing real life issues and happenings of persons in various forms of relationships.
Marriage is an institution where you don't graduate.
Try to know yourself very well, your strengths and your weaknesses. And in such instances, the men also have to know how to set the mood.
If you are my sister, I will tell you to divorce this guy.
Because immediately they are hurt, what comes into their hearts, if nobody stands there, they can act immediately.
We get to find profound solution to every letter that is worth of my attention. My Story is a program that touches the very core of our existence.
When there's a problem, you're on your own.
My name is Veronica Akom-Roxon. Make a date with me on My Story.
Dear Vero, I am in love with someone who doesn't love me at all. Despite the fact that I have a man who is ready to battle the devil just that I am happy, but I don't love him back. Dear Vero, what should I do?
My name is Veronica Akom-Roxon, the host of the most talked about show on TV and social media. On My Story, we get to read letters containing real life issues